Good day. Welcome to Blissful Life with Adenike Adebayo. It is a beautiful moment with you again. To all my old and new subscribers, you are welcome. Please do me a favor by clicking on the subscribe button, watch the video, like, share, and leave a comment. What qualifies me for marriage? That is the topic for this week. What qualifies me for marriage is applicable to both man and woman, and I will take both parts separate. So the first part is man. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25 to 31. Husband, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the assembly and gave himself up for it, that he might sanctify it, having cleansed it by the washing of water with the word, that he might present the assembly to himself gloriously, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without defect. Even so, husbands also ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his own wife loves himself. For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the Lord also does the assembly, because we are members of his body, of his flesh and bones. For this cause, a man will leave his father and mother and will be joined to his wife. The two will become one flesh. As a man, you must model yourself after Jesus, the ultimate relationship investor. Jesus was the model definition of who a man is meant to be: an initiator, courageous, responsible and mature, self-sacrificing, peacemaking, healing, justice doing, family oriented, other-centered rather than self-centered, loving others in ways that added value and nobility to them. Number two qualification for man: as a man, you must be financially independent. That is, I am committed to a job of vocation which is income generating and it can sustain my family. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 18. You must reach acceptable age such that you will have completed school or training and you are of age before you can marry. Don't propose when you have not reached a marriageable age. Possess the capacity to marry. This has to do with mental ability of the sound mind and capable of agreeing to the marriage. You must be able to understand the nature of marriage and responsive responsibilities once you enter the union. These are for man. Now let's see the woman. Proverbs chapter 31 verse 10 to 31. Who can find a worthy woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband trusts in her. He shall have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works eagerly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her bread from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, gives food to her husband and portion for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it with the fruit of her hands. She plants a vineyard. She arms her waist with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out by night. She lies her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her arms to the poor. Yes, she extends her hands to the needy. She's not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She makes for herself carpets of tapestries. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and delivers sachets to the merchant. Strength and dignity are clothing. She laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Kind instruction is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women do noble things, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears Yahweh, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hand, let her works praise her in the gates. So what qualifies you for marriage is that number one, you have accepted Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior. Number two, you must have a high regard for the family institutions. Number three, you must be consistent. Being consistent is a valuable virtue because it lets your partner know that you really are who you are. Number four, you must be ambitious. A mature woman has a vision for her future and chases after it with passion. You must be compassionate, supportive, and encouraging. You must be honest and genuine. You must be intellectually challenging, having the ability to hold real discussions on meaningful topics. This virtue will always trample shallow beauty in the long run. You must move past petty jealousy because a mature woman will allow the man in her life to have his freedom, provided he does not betray her trust. Number nine, you must be hardworking, not a lazy wife with chewing gum all the time in the mouth. No, be hardworking. And when you are hardworking, your spouse will respect you. And you will not have time for poke nosing around. In conclusion, before you conclude to marry, look at all these qualifications and see if you are qualified for marriage. If you are qualified, then you can go ahead to marry. God bless you. Once again, click on the subscribe button, watch, like, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.